Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making an iconic food for Alabama, and that is boiled peanuts. Listen, if you've never had them, don't turn your nose up at them. They're absolutely delicious, and they're a tradition in this part of the country. If you come to Southeast Alabama during the months of October and November, you are sure to see a roadside stand with a big sign that has boiled peanuts on it, and cars will be backed up to get them. They are loved here in Alabama. Now, I have been eating boiled peanuts probably, I'm sure, in the womb. My mother loves them. We all love them. And my grandfather, my mother's father, was a farmer, and he grew peanuts. And I can't count the times that he would go out into the field and pull up a bunch of peanuts, shake them off, bring them in, we would wash them, and Grandmama would cook them on her stove. Now, I have learned an easier way to cook the peanuts, and that's in my Instant Pot. This shaves off hours of cooking time because boiled peanuts can take up to 4 to 6 hours to cook on your stovetop, and it can get messy. But the Instant Pot, I absolutely love it. They cook in 2 hours and bam, you're done, and no mess. I love that as much as I love the quickness and ease of this. Now I'm starting with raw peanuts. These are peanuts that have come fresh out of the ground. The grocery store, my Piggly Wiggly, actually sells these in 3 to 5 pound bags. I love a good 3 pound, maybe 3.5 pound, because that fits perfectly in my 7-quart Instant Pot. Now, these aren't dried peanuts. They are raw peanuts, and they have a shelf life. They'll last in the bag raw for maybe about a week. After that, they're not so good. Now, these have been washed, but we are going to wash these and soak them in some water. Peanuts come out of the ground much like a potato, so they're covered in dirt when they come out, and it takes a little bit to get all that sand and dirt off. So I am going to go put these in my sink. I'm going to soak them for just a few minutes, and then I'm going to rinse them really good, and I'll show you what I'll do next. Now I've covered my peanuts in water, and I just want to stir them around in the water because I want all of that sand to fall off. Now, another thing that I want to do is pick out any of the peanuts that might look bad. This one obviously does, and there'll be a few more in here. So as I rinse, I am going to pick out the bad ones. And once I'm finished washing these, I'm gonna put them in my Instant Pot and fill it up with water. My peanuts are good and clean, and I've filled my pot with water. Now, your Instant Pot is going to have a line, and you just want to make sure that you don't add water over the line. If you do, then it's going to boil over. But as long as you get it up to the line, you're good. Now, my peanuts float just a little bit, but they stop the floating once they're cooked. And I'm only adding 2 ingredients to these peanuts. First, I'm adding salt, and I'm adding 1/4 of a cup. I know that sounds like a lot of salt, and it is, but most of the salt is going to get poured off. These peanut shells are hard, so you've got to be able to penetrate that shell, and we want flavor. Now, the next thing that I'm adding is just a tablespoon of sugar. This in no way makes these peanuts sweet. It just takes a little of the bitter away, and it really makes a difference. So don't skip on that. Now, I am just gonna stir this salt in. I don't have to worry about it dissolving. All of that will be taken care of during the cook time. I just want to make sure it's all pressed down. And I see another bad one there, so I'm going to take that out. Now, it's time for the Instant Pot. These are going right in. And I want to fasten my lid. There we go. Make sure that everything is good and tight. Now, I'm going to need my glasses for this one. I'm using the bean setting because these are beans after all. And I've got it set for 2 hours. And if you'll notice, I've highlighted the medium heat. And on this goes. Now it's going to take this a few minutes to heat up. Your cook time doesn't start counting down until your Instant Pot has come to the right temperature. And once it has, then the countdown begins. And I can hardly wait. I'm going to go get busy, get some things ready for the grandkids, and I'll see you back here when these are done. Well, my peanuts are finally ready. I told y'all this can be an all-day process, but the Instant Pot shaves hours off of that, and it did. Now, once these completed their cooking time, I just let them sit in the pot. I didn't open it. I just let them sit until they cooled down completely. And that way I know that they are perfectly cooked. Now, for the debut. Look at these peanuts. Oh, they are perfect and they smell so good. I cannot smell boiled peanuts without thinking of my grandmother. Gosh, I miss those times down at the farm. Granddaddy just bringing them in, us picking them off and cleaning them and putting them in the pot. What great memories those were. Now, I did taste these once my pot cooled down. I wanted to make sure that they were salty enough. They're perfect for us. But I will tell you, if you get peanuts that are just a little too salty, no worries. What you need to do is just drain your peanut liquor and then fill your pot with water. Let them sit for maybe an hour and it'll take some of that saltiness away. And vice versa. If you didn't get your peanuts salty enough, add more salt. Start with a tablespoon, maybe 2, and stir. Make sure your salt is dissolved and let your peanuts sit a good hour or 2. And then they'll absorb that salt and be the saltiness that you like. I love that because you can't mess them up. Believe me. Now, let's taste. Look at this. Ooh, see how nice and juicy they are? Definitely want to eat these over the bowl. Look at that. Yum. Now, a true Southerner takes the peanut and pulls it out of the shell. That's why it's so important to get all of the dirt or sand off of your peanuts. There's nothing worse than getting a peanut and a mouthful of dirt. Yuck. But there is no dirt in these. They're perfect. They're the perfect softness, saltiness. They're kind of creamy. I've heard some people say they taste like beans, and they do because they are a bean. The peanuts are not a nut. These are so good. Well, it's about time for me to go pick up my grandchildren. Annabelle absolutely loves boiled peanuts, so she's going to be ecstatic that we have these. Y'all, these are so good. You're a blessing to me. Thanks so much for watching today. Will you press that like button, share this video with your friends, and tell them what Alabama is all about with the boiled peanuts. Well, I'm gonna go finish these off, pick up the grandkids, and I'll see you next time. How are they? Well, you have all you want. Can you say bye? See you next time?
Bye. See you next time.